Hello folks, Ed Dana here, kicking off my new YouTube channel. I'm trying to come up with an interesting topic for my first video. I think I found one. Don't mind my faithful partner and wife over here practicing her bass. I hope she doesn't talk too much over there. Love that woman, she practices all the time. Gonna talk about something that every guitar player struggles with, or maybe not. Maybe you don't even think about it, but you should. It's guitar strings. I play Stratocaster guitars, I play Les Paul guitars, I play SGs, I play Telecasters. Nothing fancy, no shred guitars. I've got a few buried around here somewhere, but most of mine are pretty traditional guitars for rock and country. And I switch between, depending on what I'm doing or how I'm feeling, between a 9 through 42 gauge set or a 10 to 46. I'm comfortable with either. And for years I've faithfully used D'Addario. You can buy them in boxes of 10 real cheap. Order them online, get a real good deal on them. And I've been happy with these strings. But what I've found out is over the years, or in the last few years, we've been playing a lot of outdoor festivals and venues. And a lot of these venues don't provide for the performer very well. They'll stick you out in the sun on a patio somewhere with no cover, no shade. They'll stick you up in a pavilion where the sun's beating right in on you, or you're getting rained on and everything's getting wet, and they just, you know, it's all about them. It's never about us. And I would find out that after, hey, a real hot, sweaty gig in the middle of July or August, and you stick that guitar in your case, and a couple days later you go open up the case to use the guitar, and the strings are corroded. They're black. They've rusted. And it's like, oh, geez, I got to change the strings, or I got to grab a different guitar that's got strings on it. And I tried to deal with this by using string conditioner, wiping the strings off. None of that helps. None of that helps. So then I went to the Elixir NanoWebs, and I tried some of these. Now this is an acoustic set because I too play acoustic guitar also quite often. These things, they'll cost you a fortune. They're supposed to last a really long time, but after you've been playing them for a while, after a couple gigs, you'll start noticing around down where you're picking, the sound hole or over the pickups, the coating starts to rub and fray off. And you've got, your strings look fuzzy. Okay, that can't be good. It can't, that's, you know, how well can it be performing? And that cost inhibitive, in my opinion. Well, a friend of mine went online and found something very interesting. Ernie Ball custom gauge stainless steel regular slinkies, 10, 13, 17, 26, 36, 46. And he's got some 9s coming and some hybrid sets coming. I put a set of these on my Stratocaster. And granted, it's the middle of February right now. Well, it's March. It's actually March now. But it's been the coldest winter on record here in Northeast Ohio, okay? But I stuck these strings on this Stratocaster, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more happy with what I've found so far. This guitar is a 94 Fender Strat made in Mexico. It came with 3 single coil humbuckers, a stock Fender bridge, and it had the Fender tuning keys, whatever. Poncho, be quiet. Well, I all of a sudden got into using Gibsons, an SG and a Les Paul, because I really like the sound of the humbuckers for a lot of the things we were doing. So what we did with this guitar was we got a Pearloid pickguard and we installed Fender Samarium Cobalt stacked humbucker pickups with a super switch and this little switch, this little doodad in the volume knob right here, this little push button that will change the configurations between series and parallel configuration for the pickups on the different pickup settings. Well, I lost my single coil sound for country. It darkened the guitar up quite a bit. Not that I was unhappy with that, but that's what happened. I put these stainless steel strings on here. It immediately brightened up the sound of the guitar. They're brighter. They're shinier. They're smoother to the touch. They bend better. They have an elasticity or a malleability, if that's a word. They are bender friendly. Now, I use a stock Fender tremolo. I float it. And I know I'm going to have people saying, oh, you got to lock that thing down. Bullshit. If you know what you're doing, you know how to set your guitar up. You put some locking tuning keys on it. You get the nut right. You put 5 springs in the back of it. And you float this thing at, I believe it's like, I don't know. It's not 12 degrees. It's 5 to 7 degrees. Something like that. You won't have any problem. Now, I'm not a dive bomber. I don't dive bomb. I use it as a tremolo. That's what it's called, a tremolo. Like, okay. Once in a while, I'll get excited and I'll do a dive bomb. But these strings, so far, I'm really happy with them. And I've played a couple gigs with that guitar, and I have made a point to wipe them off and try to keep them clean. After 2 gigs, there's not a blemish on them. And it might be 3 gigs. There's not a blemish on them. A lot of times I'd restring my guitar, and within a few nights I'd start to see little black rust or corrosion spots in different parts of the string. Now, what they'll do to the frets, I don't know. But we can remedy that with stainless steel frets, which we will be doing on another guitar, which is another point. I've got all these guitars that I don't have one stock guitar left in my life. Everything I have has been changed so drastically that almost the name on the headstock means nothing. But my point is, I would recommend these strings that you try them. If you're looking for something that you want to get a little more life out of, if you play a lot and you find out you're changing your strings a lot and you have a lot of guitars, and he found these for $3 a set online. It might have been less. You know, I've been going to one of the big musical vendors. You all know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to drop any names, but the initials are Musician's Friend. In ordering string packs from them, and you know, for $30, you get 10 sets of strings. Not from them. These came from another site, which we'll talk about. That's a subject for another video. But that's my video for today, is talking about these strings and how happy I've been with them, and I recommend that you try them, whether you play rock or country. We play both. Hey, hit the subscribe button. I look forward to posting a lot of videos on the channel about a lot of different things, and spring's coming, folks. Time to out with the old, in with the new. Let's get rid of these 15-foot snow piles here in northeastern Ohio and bring on the sun.